To countless students in today's elementary schools, the prospect of pursuing careers in the STEM areas seems to them to be too daunting or even unreachable. Next up, to talk about breaking the stigma through curiosity, is Andres Lombo, a University of Toronto Schulich leader from 2017.
Thank you very much, Ben. So, my name is Andres Lombo. I'm a Schulich leader at the University of Toronto. I'm studying engineering. So today, I'm going to be talking to you about breaking the stigma through curiosity. Now, first of all, I just want to share with you a little something that I experienced in my high school chemistry class. Yep. Did you see that? So, in that video, all the students were going, ooh. And that's exactly the reaction I got. So I remember that after that experiment, I had a lesson. And then from that lesson, the class attitude seemed to go from positive to neutral to definitely not interested. And I wondered, why is there a difference between what you were taught and what you see? Why was the class different from the experiment to the lesson? So I realized that this is not unique to high school. It actually starts in elementary school when you are in your science classes. So if you were to go to an elementary science class and you were to ask the question, what is science like to you? They would give you something along the lines that science is only for the smart kids, just plain boring, and really too hard to understand. And consequently, because of their perception of a science class, they will think that a career in science is going to be the exact same thing. And that is a huge problem. So with this problem in mind, my friends and I started Voyage Science, a student-run organization that connects high school students with elementary schools to provide fun and engaging STEM presentations. And so our goal was to bring these students to be engaged in their science classes and continue in their science pathway with taking courses in high school and eventually in their post-secondary science courses in high school and eventually in their post-secondary education. So we started planning the experiments, we drafted our script, and then we gave our presentation. And what did we encounter? Absolute failure. And we were crazy. We had the worst feeling. We had just delivered a really boring presentation. And the only question that was begging to be asked was, why? What was missing? So our presentation was exactly like before. It was only for the smart kids. It was plain boring. And it really was too hard to understand. And so if we go back to the video and we remember that there was an awe in you, when you saw that experiment, you had an ooh inside of you. And so we found that that ooh, that excitement that was in you, was actually curiosity. And that was a really strong desire to learn and to pursue knowledge when you discovered something. And so we learned that the process of science starts with uncertainty. You go around and you play with something. And then you come to perception. You see how things work. And then you start asking questions and doing experiments, and now it comes to science. But the problem is that in today's elementary schools, uncertainty is not there. And science education just tells you what you need to know. And then after the lesson, you have to do your homework problems. And so we decided that we were going to reintroduce curiosity back into the elementary schools and spark that interest in science. And so we learned that our experiments had to be based not on lessons, but on questions. And questions were really the key to learning. It wasn't the curriculum, it was the students' questions. And so we said that as teachers ourselves, we were not disseminators of information, but cultivators of curiosity. And looking back, as we are all scholars in in the fields of STEM, we all have a responsibility to inspire others and to come to an understanding that we are also responsible as teachers to inspire others to join us and create meaningful change in the areas of STEM. And we can break the stigma by saying that science is for everyone. It is very interesting. And on top of that, it is easy to understand. And that way, we can really go back to what Albert Einstein said. It is important not to stop questioning. Curiosity really has its own reason for existing. So if we embrace curiosity, we really have one message in mind, that when we do science, we can always achieve success, even if we encounter failure at first. All you have to do is be curious. Thank you.